An excess of love. A bit behind the curve as a Swiftie, I'm finally watching the Era Tour docuseries. One story stopped me, literally, as I paused on my treadmill, to note a line from Cameron Saunders, one of Taylor Swift's dancers. I came from a family with an excess of love. In so many panels, fireside chats, and Q&A sessions, I've been asked how my brothers and I were able to build what we did at such young ages. The answer comes back to something very simple. Support. In my keynote, I highlight 3 types of support every entrepreneur needs. No matter your team size, being intentional about support systems directly influences your ability to endure challenges, take action, and reshape your future. Over the next 3 weeks, I'll talk about all 3: emotional, operational, relational. Let's begin with emotional support. Emotional support, the people who remind you who you are. Like Cameron, I come from a family with an excess of love. Entrepreneurship is incredibly lonely. Doubt gets loud and criticism sticks. A major reason I was able to weather those storms, both as a teen entrepreneur and now, is that I always knew I had support. My biggest supporter has always been my mom. She drove me to meetings, bought me professional clothes, and kept me calm before late-night hotel check-ins. She also did the usual kid stuff, like hugging me through heartbreaks and getting fired up and feisty with me over perceived slights. Whether it was going nose to nose with the detective who falsely accused her kid, or fighting to get me into classes my guidance counselor thought I couldn't handle, my mom was always willing to go to bat for her kids. When you have someone willing to go to bat for you, you're more likely to bat for yourself too. I don't think there is a recipe for raising successful kids, but you can't go wrong with showing them unconditional love, letting them fail and be sad about it, while also knowing their parent always has their back. I have the immense privilege of having a strong support network in my family, and not just immediate family, but my aunts, uncles, cousins, second cousins, and in-laws. My number one teammate now is my husband. His support, thoughtfulness, and conscientiousness are invaluable. In addition to being a wonderful partner, he's also a fabulous dad to our 2 kids. He's the one who reminds me to take breaks, voices his admiration of my perseverance and drive, and tells me to keep going. I recognize that not everyone has that support from the beginning, but I believe it's something you can build. Building emotional support systems. First, show up for others. When a friend is going through a difficult time, knowing what to say or how to act can be incredibly hard. But imperfect presence beats perfect silence every time. When my parents were divorcing, I remember showing up to English class with a very obvious tear-stained face. A classmate asked what was wrong, and I told him. He listened, and we weren't really friends then, but now we've been friends for 20 years. 2, be open with others. I loved something Kendra Adachi wrote in The Lazy Genius Way about not deep cleaning your house or apologizing for the state of your home when welcoming new people in. Just be yourself, unapologetically. By doing this, you're more likely to actually have people over, and you approach new relationships from a real you perspective, rather than with your guard up. We can do the same with how we show up as ourselves. Just be real. 3, choose connection. While writing my book, my publisher Manuscripts connected authors within a cohort. You could just watch the recordings or show up live. My cohort got very close. When the program ended, we continued meeting because we cared about each other. Before my keynote last week, I was feeling nervous, and then my friend Stacy's words of encouragement popped into my head. That's what emotional support does. It appears just when you need it most, reminding you of your capacity to persevere. Challenges and doubts are part of entrepreneurship, but building emotional support with family, friends, mentors, and communities strengthens resilience through these ups and downs. We will have weak points, but our emotional support helps us keep going. Whether we call it love or friendship or simply having a great conversation, achieving connection, authentic, meaningful connection, is the most important thing in life. Charles Duhigg, Super Communicators. Emotional support helps us endure, but it doesn't lighten the load. To truly lighten the load, we need operational support, the tools and teams that drive execution. On Friday, I'm hosting a session to discuss how I use one of my biggest sources of operational support right now as a team of one, ChatGPT. You can RSVP at the link in the newsletter to join. And one more final note on habits. So over the last few weeks, I've written a lot about goals, systems, and environments that enable progress, about quitting to create more time for the things that matter to you, and earthquake habits that quietly undermine everything else you're trying to build. One common theme is that progress isn't just about what you add, it's about what you remove. That's why I'm pumped that a book I've been waiting on since August is finally out. My friend Jonathan Goodman's new book, Unhinged Habits, a counterintuitive guide for humans to have more by doing less, is full of helpful frameworks to break bad habits and build a life you enjoy by mastering the art of strategic subtraction. If you liked Atomic Habits or Essentialism, I think you'll like this one too. I'm excited to dig in. Thanks.